we're going to create a kids style house. For this we need to create a box. So from the Create tab on the right hand side, we select Geometry, and from Standard Primitives we choose Box. In the top view, we click and drag to establish the length and width of the box, and then we drag up to establish the height of the box. The dimensions are not essential in this exercise, so anything square, cubed, rectangular will work. This is going to represent the four walls of the house. So I'm going to shift to the Modify panel, second tab on the right hand side, and I'm going to rename this object. Instead of box 01, I'm going to call it my house walls, so that I know exactly what this represents. The next thing I want to do is create some distortion in the proportions of this box. I don't want this to be an even, balanced 3D model. I want this to look like a child's drawing. And to do that, I can apply some modifiers. So under the modifier list at the top of the panel on the right hand side, I can choose the taper modifier. And the taper modifier allows me to apply an amount of taper to make the top of the walls more narrow or broader. So I'm going to get it to bulge out like that. I also like to apply some curve to that to make it look nice and organic. And you'll notice that as I change the curving value, the geometry doesn't change. That's because there's no detail in this box to support any curvature. So I need to go back to the box in the modifier list and change the height segments. Now, I don't need too many, somewhere around 8 or 9, maybe 10 height segments be enough to give me a bit of curvature on the walls of my 3D model. So you can see there in my perspective view how that's put some curvature on all of the sides of the house. I can adjust that in the taper modifier. You can see that I can make it bend in, I can make it bulge out. So it's entirely up to you. You can explore the modifier and see what values you'd want to work with. There are a range of modifiers which you could also look at applying. There's bend, that could be interesting. There's twist, there's taper. So don't be afraid to experiment with some of the modifiers and see what they result in. So that's the four walls of the house. What I want to do now is look at creating a roof. So I'm going to create another box, again in the top view, and let's zoom out the top view a little bit and create a box to represent the roof that's a little bit bigger than my house, or a little bit bigger than the walls. Doesn't have to be even, okay, because this is all about being a kid's drawing, so it can be a little bit unbalanced. So again, drag out the length and width, and then drag out the height. And I want to position that box above the walls of my house. So using my top view and my left view to work that out. And then I want to make sure that I remove the height segments in this model, because I want that to be a nice simple structure.